How are you doing today? Having a good time? Having a fun time, perhaps? Are you possibly having a good fun time? Looks like we got quite a few people here. So excited to watch the ladder climb live. Well, we're not climbing yet. We're just learning the deck, which is possibly the most boring part of the process. Because it involves a whole lot of sitting down and watching other people's YouTube videos. Although I've already done a bit of that, and I think I understand the philosophy behind the deck. But there's so many different builds and so many different, unique tech cards that you can throw in here. I'm very curious. What was it? Let's see if I have it. Because what was it? The thing about I guess I can go ahead and start just a little bit. I don't know. I always feel like, especially on this kind of stream, because I know we're not going to take up the whole time doing this. I like to chat a little bit, you know. But the thing, what was it? Leoncolia, Morella. Those are the most important ones. And then transaction rollback. If you're unfamiliar, you're like, why is Paleo getting played, Joe? I thought that you had a system where only decks that got new support. Transaction rollback might as well be Paleo support. I'm counting it as Paleo support because it turns the deck into a house. Perfect timing, eh? But yeah, transaction rollback. It has two effects. The most important one is the second one, though. You can banish this from your graveyard, pay half your life points, target a normal trap. This effect becomes that card's effect at activation. So that means if you can get this and any trap into the graveyard, you can activate that trap without having to pay any of the costs. Did Joshua Schmidt pay me to do the deck? No, the patrons. This mean we could suggest Labyrinth again? Sure. Think it'll be viable without Toad? Oh yeah. We'll look at Joshua Schmidt's videos, because he's like the big progenitor of this version of the deck. But when he played it in Master Duel, and he played it in real life. He won a regional with it. And he was like, you know, even though he's like, I was so happy. We have the Toad here in TCG. I could play Toad. And he's like, you only really play one. You barely even make it. The way this deck plays, like, having a negate doesn't really help you all that much. Tier Paleo goes hard. Yeah, I've heard that's an option. Paleo Labyrinth goes hard. I want to try to just play, like, the pure trap version. I mean, we'll have probably, like, Backjack or whatever. But the main thing, like, basically, what are we going to do? We're going to be playing, like, Needlebug Nest, right? We're going to be milling 5 cards. We're going to be playing Trap Trick so we can get to Needlebug Nest. We're going to be playing Absolute King Backjack is, like, one of our only monsters. And so basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be milling a whole bunch from your deck, and you're going to be sending traps to the graveyard with Paelozoic Morella. And between these two and Transaction Rollback, basically what Transaction Rollback does, right, is you fill up your graveyard with a toolbox of traps, and then at any moment you have access to any of those. And you have Morella that can send any trap you want. So it allows you to play one of things like Elemental Burst, Tribute Wind, Water, Fire, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Like, you get this in the graveyard with this, you just got a field wipe. Quick effect, anytime you want, blow up the field. Witch's Strike. They still need to, you need to wait for the activation requirements to be right. But like, your opponent negates any of your spell traps. Alright, destroy their entire field and their hand. Daruma Karma Cannon. Just activate this whenever. Ice Dragon's Prison. Fun times. Basically any trap that we've been seeing that's like, oh, this is a really good trap. The problem is you would never have it when you need it. This deck can have it when it needs it. Wabaku is vital, yeah. The one thing I haven't seen, but I saw, what was it? Someone played this in the latest YCS, and I was like, Simultaneous equation cannons, eh? I wonder. Banish 1 fusion and 2 Ixies with the same rank from your extra deck, whose combined levels and ranks equal the total number of cards in both players' hands and on the field. Then apply this effect. Oh, it's not in Master Duel yet? Damn it. I thought it was. I thought we just got it. I pulled a royal of that. Only the linear equation cannon. I mean, I might be able to do linear equation cannon too. The math on this one seems easier. This is the one where I'm like, okay, so it's banish a fusion and 2 Ixies with the same rank from your extra deck, whose combined levels and ranks equal the number of cards in both players' hands and on the field. Then apply this effect. Return 2 of your banished monsters to the extra deck, 1 Ixie and 1 fusion, whose combined level and rank equal the level or rank of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Then banish all cards they control. So, like, okay, I need to banish 1 fusion and 2 Ixies. I'm going to have 2 rank 2 Ixies in this deck because it's all rank 2s. So that's 4. And then, if I can get a 8, if I can get a level 8 fusion, then 8 plus 2 plus 2 is 12. It's not going to be hard for the combined number of cards on the field to be 12. One player starts with 5, one player starts with 6, and most decks can go plus. So as long as they have like 1 or 2 more cards than they do, then we can do that. And then it's like, okay, you activate it, and then I can shuffle back the level 8 fusion and the level 2 Ixie, and that's 10. So if my opponent has a level 10 monster on the field, I can banish everything they control. And there just happens to be a very popular deck that has a whole bunch of level 10 monsters. And I could maybe do that, what was it? Fire Kings plays a lot of 8s. I believe, what's his name in 8? Flamberge? Flambert? Yeah, he's an 8-star. So I could also just put like a, what would that be? A level 4? Oh wait, no, I would need to do a level 6 fusion. Level 6 fusion, they would have to have 10 cards on, there would have to be 10 cards on the field and in the hands. Horus is 8 turbo, yeah. There's 2 decks that put 8s out there. So if I put, all I have to do is make room in my extra deck for a level 6, and wait for my opponent, wait for the cards on field to become exactly 10. And then I can banish their whole field. Branded all, yeah, a lot of decks have 8s. It's one of those things where like, this would be, but apparently this isn't out. Maybe it'll come out while we're there. Is linear equation cannon worth playing? If I could resolve this on the ladder, as part of like a somewhat competitive deck, it would be legendary. It's only during the battle phase though. I don't think this would work though. It would have to be like, can you even resolve any of its effects with rollback? Yes. We can resolve it. It just has to be during the battle phase. And we still have to resolve, we could just make sure. The problem with this one is that there's too many variables. Like the other one, the double equation cannon, it's like, I remember reading that and be like, oh, that's still complex, but it's fairly easy, right? You just have to make sure that, like, there's a level... The only thing you have to control is the number of cards on the field and the level of the monster your opponent has. And you can safely predict what level of monsters they'll have on the field. Or at least there's like a couple, like it's either going to be like a 4 or an 8 most of the time, right? Maybe if you're playing against Cashed Hero, it'll be a 7 and it'll be a dead card or whatever. But you can plan to like assume that they'll have a 4 or an 8. And then you just have to wait for like the right number of cards to be on the field. But this is like, I get to pick one number, then it's an effect number, multiply their level plus the number I pick, add that to the number your opponent controls, and see if the result equals the number of cards in your graveyard. So in order to figure this out, I have to know the number of cards in my graveyard, the level of a monster my opponent is going to have, and the number of cards they control. Y equals mx plus b. Simple. I mean, granted, I can always multiply it by 1. So we could, again, 8 and a 4. Add that to the number they control. That's the big thing. It's easier with the other equation cannon to just be like, wait until they have the proper number on the field. But, like, the proper number here depends on how many cards I have in my graveyard. We'll see. Fiend Griefing, yeah, we're almost certainly playing Fiend Griefing. Because it's graveyard removal and it puts Backjack into the graveyard. What app is Joe using? YGO Omega. Play Max C. Don't have to play Ash or Called By or anything else. But then we could play, like, Reasoning. Be like, go ahead. Once they see the deck, they'll probably pick 1 or 2. If they pick 2 and I hit Backjack, it summons it. If not, Backjack goes to the graveyard. If they hit 1 to stop Backjack from coming out, then I might be able to summon a Max C, and because it's level 2, we can actually make the Ixies with it. I would play Time Tearing Morganite over Hand Traps. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. And one of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. We're probably playing like 3 Dinomicious, 3 Oleanadoids, 3 of this. And like, you know, if you wanted to, you could play a 40 card variant that looks something like this. Time Tear. Is it there? There we go. But like, since you're playing all traps, you could play Time Tearing Morganite. You could play a 60 card variant with that grass. You could play Well, I guess we'll find out. We're gonna watch. Although I guess, well, I was gonna be like, is there anything happening in the news? I don't think there is. I think it's just Republicans are being called weird and they can't deal with it. I will say that is very funny. I'm not sure if anyone... This is something, like, even if you don't necessarily, like, know or follow with politics, it's really kind of weird. Weird. It's really kind of funny. In Venezuela, there's stuff happening. Yeah, their election was really rigged, from what I hear. But no, there's this weird bit of discourse going on where, because that's the thing is, like, I think most people, I mean, the stream itself is labeled leftist. You know I don't really agree with conservatives or whatever, especially conservative politicians. If you're a conservative person, I feel like you're fairly reasonable, but the politicians have, like, all these incentives to just be the worst kind of people. To just be very over-the-top and sensational so they can get attention. And as a result, they've done a whole lot of, like, creepy, weird things. But up until now, their opposition has really... they haven't really engaged in that. They've always been like, we're going to talk about these policies and why these policies are harmful to the economy. We're going to meet you on an even playing field. And it hasn't worked very well. Oftentimes, the conservatives just go to, like, attacks. Like, these people are satanic, they're destroying everything. They're very hyperbolic. And I don't know who started it, but eventually someone was just like, y'all are just weird. You guys are weirdos. You like weird things. Why are you obsessed so much with all this, what people are doing in their own bedrooms? Like, just let people go. Stop hyper-fixating on all this shit. You're weird. And, you know, it's one of those things, I think I made a post about this where I was like, the weirdest thing is, I think most people, like, if I told my friend, man, you're weird, he'd be like, yeah, I'm a little weird. And we'd both chuckle and be like, yeah, we're both kind of weirdos. You know, everyone's a little weird. It's almost normal to be weird. But these conservative politicians have built their image so much on, like, we're normal. We're the, like, you know, the best of the best. People are either, like, they either love us or they're afraid of us. And they cannot handle it. They are not taking it well. Today is my birthday. Oh, well, thank you. Happy, or not, thank you. Congratulations, that's what I managed to say. Juan Solo, 2069. Great name. Happy birthday. Oh yeah, and I guess I should. Mellow 007 TV. Thank you for the gifted sub. If you didn't get one, you gotta type evaded in the chat. And Devalesquez. Devel. Gonna have to Devel? Is the devil here? Thank you for the 19 months! Apparently conservatives are outraged that Green Day is leftist. Yeah. That's, to be fair, that's not like, that's one of those things what I would call, nut picking. Like, I think most people kind of understand, or at least most politicians do. But there's always one person who gets, like, really, really angry, and they're like, I can't believe that the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine is woke. I trusted you. And it's like, Rage Against the Machine? You didn't think they were leftists? Like, what machine did you think they were raging against? I mean, granted, their lyrics are a little obtuse, but if, like, you've ever seen Rage Against the Machine, you know, the main guitar player, his guitar has a big sticker on it that says, Arm the Homeless. He is a very, like, extreme left-wing guy. They're raging against the washing machine. The Maytag, the printer. Tractors? Nut picking, is that an extreme version of cherry picking? So I made a short about this on the political channel. Nut picking is a propaganda technique. It comes from the term, if you've ever heard the term cherry picking, right? That's where you have a whole bunch of, like, results or whatever. A good example of this is, like, you know, oh, there's millions of Spanish-speaking people in America. But you'll go in and hone in on one guy who, like, was a serial killer and be like, hey, look, this Spaniard is a serial killer, therefore all Spaniards are serial killers. That's cherry picking. It's looking at one small result and saying that it reflects the whole. Nut picking is like that, except it works with crazy people. It's, you know, it's basically what Libs of TikTok does. She'll go on TikTok and she'll scroll and scroll through all the, like, left-leaning people until she'll find someone saying something crazy. You know, there'll be some person there, they'll be like, oh, you know, cars are fat-phobic, no one should be able to drive anywhere, I want all the drivers to be locked up. And then she'll hold that one up, post it on her thing, and be like, look at what leftists actually believe. Can you believe that this is what Kamala Harris wants? Can you believe that this is President Joe Biden's official policy? You hold up a nut, and you say, this is what all of them want. This is what they're all secretly thinking, even though it's just that one crazy person. An actual terrorist, yep. And yeah, both sides do it. You'll see stuff like that where, like, some redneck, you know, rural person will say something really ignorant, and people will be like, look at what, like, all conservatives want. Look at what they actually believe. And it's like, no, that's not representative of the mainstream. That's just like a crazy person. It's nice to think that your opposition is crazy, but they aren't that crazy. Paleos won, they did win. Show them the coconut tree. Can confirm Biden showed up to my house and stole my car. But yeah, it's, both sides engage in it, but it's also important to be like, but there is no, like, Libs of TikTok for the liberal side, where, like, there's someone coordinating and making efforts to do that, and then, like, urging their followers to, like, call in bomb threats and stuff, calling those people heroes for standing up to injustice when, like, they're just being fed in, like, misinformation that they know is in misinformation. America's a super dumb reality show. Social media, man. And it's not even that social media is bad, it's just like, our Constitution was written without social media and computers in mind. I think I've talked about this before, I'm like, I feel like if you're talking to an audience of, like, millions of people, you shouldn't be able to lie. Like, knowingly lie. Like, obviously there's always going to be matters of opinion. Obviously sometimes the truth isn't a clear-cut thing. But, like, we have people just going up, just, like, saying lies. And because of how vaguely things about free speech are worded, like, yeah, you're just allowed to, like, say that people are criminals and incite a mob against them. And it's so loose that, like, we're like, oh, we could... And it makes sense when, like, when you're talking about newspapers that are working on hearsay, when you don't have, like, fact-checking abilities, when communication between states is something that requires, like, a dude on a horse. Like, yeah, there's... How can you possibly know what the truth is? There's no way to confirm. But now that we have, like, the internet and social media and, like, this vast network of instant communication... Like, I feel like there should be some level of accountability. Some level of, like, okay, you know, you're allowed to say whatever you want, but you can't knowingly lie about stuff to a huge audience. Yeah, something that is clearly fiction and presented as such is fine, obviously. Knowingly lying isn't protected speech? Yes, it is. You can absolutely... I mean, that's the funny thing, too, is there's a lot of people who are like, Well, no, there are laws, like, the news can't just go up and say something that it knows is a lie. Like, yes, it can. Freedom of speech applies to that. Politicians are absolutely allowed to lie. The only time where free speech kind of has any kind of, pushback on it is, what's it called? There's I can't remember like defamation. Defamation and slander, which is tied, like, specifically to money, right? Like, people can make up and lie about you on national TV, but unless, like, your business suffers, or you lose your job because of it, or you lose some kind of monetary thing that the courts can judge and be like, well, this was worth $20,000, and you lost it because this person knowingly lied about you, then you're allowed to sue them for it. But that's a civil matter. It's not illegal. I guess there is also some level of, like, false advertising. You're not allowed to... Although even that's, like... It's more like the FDA regulates what you can sell. You're not allowed to sell certain things as medicine, so you can't lie and say, like, this snake oil will cure your cancer. But that's less about freedom of speech and more about regulating what is and isn't medicine. And yeah, that's the thing, I feel like when I explain that to people, like, no, there actually isn't, like, there's hardly any safeguards against just, like, knowingly spreading misinformation. Most people are like, well, there should be. I thought there already were. Inciting a riot can sometimes be a criminal act, yes, but it has to be, the standard of inciting a riot is, like, you have to be up on a stage, say something that is unequivocally meant to be, like, inflammatory, and then people have to act immediately on it. Like, you have to go up on a stage, say, like, we should burn down this town, and then someone goes and burns down the town. The courts have ruled that, like, if you give a radio address, like, if you do a radio show and you talk about, like, we need to burn down this part of town, and then later that night a bunch of guys get together at a bar and talk about it, decide, yeah, we're gonna go burn down that town. Because several hours have passed, you're not responsible as the person who gave the radio address. The president, yeah, that's why people are saying we could actually get Trump on January 6th, because he literally was like, hey, all these people, let's go over there, and let's be really nice about it, or let's not do anything, and he's like, well, I had no idea they were going to be rowdy. It's like, well, what did you think they were going to do? And that's the thing, we have all these text messages and stuff where they're like, oh, if we can just stall the election long enough for, like, to disrupt the process, then we can tie it up in the courts. We can be like, they didn't do it when they said they were going to do it, which means, you know, now we have to do a different process, which means, you know, Biden can't come in until we get this settled out in court. And the idea was just to tie it up for months and months and months until he could build up more of a coalition. He literally told them to be wild, yeah. Like, there's all this evidence behind it where it's like, he knew... It's like, you could, if you got him in trial, you would be like, okay, well, you said you wanted them to disrupt things in this text. You says that was the meaning of, or that was the meaning of the meeting. So what did you think was going to happen? You said you didn't want violence, but behind in all these, like, text messages, you said disrupt, disrupt. Be wild, but be nice. Imminent lawless action, yeah. 4 years later, nada. Yep, they move so slow. But yeah, I didn't mean to go on a whole... I was just going to be like... I like the weird thing. I think it's very... Just going back to that, I think it's ironically very weird that trying to talk about all of their policies and say how they're harmful to Americans... No effect. Calling them weird, something that most people would accept, is the one thing that they're like, how dare you? I am not weird. I just want to live in a world where... oh. I can't... I was trying to think of an example, and I'm like, no, I don't want a clip of me saying anything close to that. Yeah, ironically, the weird thing is being so upset about being called weird. Because it's normal to be a little weird, but it's not normal to be so obsessed with being normal that being called weird makes you, like, freak out and panic. You know what I mean? And that's, like, the weirdest thing. It's like a quirk of language, and I'm like, the fuck is going on? Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get another tab open. If you're new to these kinds of streams, the learning streams, the first half of it is spent watching other people's deck profiles, learning about the tech, learning about different options and everything. And I'll be going over, like, critiquing their video editing as well. So if you ever wanted, like, Hardleg reacts, Hardleg criticizes other Yugi tubers, that's what you'll be getting. But if you're watching on YouTube, you won't be seeing it. I'm just gonna skip over that because, I don't want to re-upload me, like, reacting to other people's videos. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel moral. So let's, Paleo Master Duel. Wow. 1 second. There's someone doing what I do, but even more. Paelozoic, rookie to master, every game, 7 hours and 40 minutes. That's the true ladder climb experience. I mean, we might as well check it out. I'm curious to see how they go. And this is the same person, it's just replays? Yeah, and they're playing the Elemental Burst. I will say, I do kind of like the thumbnail style. They've got this bright color, the blue that's not used very well, or not used very often. They've got what looks like they've actually drawn the text, and, like, handmade text always stands out because so many people just use, like, impact. And not only is it handmade, but it's not, like, overly flowery. Like, it's very easy to read from a distance. And then they've got the monster, they've got the two little icons, very thick. Did they draw those? Or, like, trace over them? At first I thought it was just a filter. And that's the only thing I would say. I'm not sure if they'll ever see this or whatever, but just in general, if you're making YouTube videos, what you want to do, like looking at this Josh video, you could see he's got like a thick, shadowy outline around him, what they call a drop shadow. This is just the outline. What you need is, like, to have the outline thicker on one side to add a drop shadow to it, and that'll make it pop a little bit more. The icons will look like they're resting above everything else. It'll give it some depth, and really, like, it's amazing what something like this, you can tell, like, Josh is, like, on top of the cards. He's, like, another layer above, whereas this looks kind of flat. Or you could see it even here. They've done this, like, this shadow around Josh, so that you can see, like, him sort of, like, sticking out in front of the table. And this time they give him a white outline, too. In one to hero. Thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it. So we'll check those out. We'll check out the Joshua Schmidt, even though this is the, not the Master Duel version. 30-minute grind. Yeah, this is going to be a while. This is an older one. Josh approved deck. Oh my god, I love Paleo. I would die waiting for one game to end. Maybe it might just be the exact same deck. Okay. So let's try not paleo, but Paelozoic. I guess real quick while we're looking through this, I've been trying to come up with some a song for paleo with the AI thing. It hasn't, I don't know, I feel like I've done like a decent job, but I haven't done like, I haven't gotten anything just perfect yet. Paleo frog, we don't have like frogs. Most of the frogs are banned. Let's see here. We'll try it.
Paelozoic, Paelozoic, Paelozoic.
It's like it's gotta have caveman vibe, right?
Paelozoic, Cameraster, Paelozoic, Paelozoic, Paleozoic, Zoic, Paleozoic, Paleozoic, Canadia, Paelozoic, Dinamichos, Paelozoic, Marella, Paelozoic, Liancholia, Paelozoic, 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 Paelozoic. Paelozoic, 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 Paelozoic,
Let's see.
Paelozoic, 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 Paelozoic.
It like kind of works, right, chat? It's not just me. Maybe I've just listened to it too much and it's gotten caught in my head. It like it's got that like prehistoric like caveman like Paelozoic, Zoic. But it's also not like super catchy. It's just got like a vibe. I don't like how it keeps saying paleo wrong. Yeah. That was the thing, is I think it like it took all the Paleozoic names and thought that it was Spanish or some other language. So it has like weird pronunciations. It's got George of the Jungle vibes, yeah. So I tried another one where instead of writing out the actual words, I wrote like pay Leo. Like, oh, there's my friend Leo, let's pay him. I was like, surely it'll pronounce it right there. Aren't they like in Latin? Yeah. But there is no like Latin speakers, there's no Latin music. So I got another version.
Paelozoic Canada, Paelozoic Indonesius, Paelozoic Marella, Paelozoic Lanicolia, Paelozoic Adamancipator, Paelozoic Opaminia, Paelozoic Camberasta, Paelozoic Forever, Paeleo.
Very safe, yeah. And the problem with this one is they say paleo right, but then they say Zoic. And I was like, no, you got the first. I typed it like Zoeik, Zoic. I don't know why it's doing Zooic. I'm down with this one, yeah. Paleo, Zooic. Where are you getting this message from, or the music from? There's a program called Suno. You can type in lyrics and like give it some direction about what kind of music you want it to make, and then it'll just generate it. Oh, this is AI? Yes. The music is AI, the lyrics are not. It's not like 100% AI. There's still some insert on my end. The Odd Eye songs were legit bops, yeah. I was like, oh, I've made good ones with Odd Eyes. I could do with Paelozoic. Those were like the best ones I came up with. There is one more, but it like, again, I'm trying to go for this like caveman chanting vibe. And they gave me one, I was like, try to make it a little bit more danceable. And they're like, oh, so you want like club music, like 50s club music? And I was like, no, not really. Like, it kind of works. It's got like a bop to it. But it sounds more like your, you know, 50s speakeasy, yeah. Down in Havana. Paelozoic. Caribbean, yeah, it's got like this Caribbean vibe to it. Monster. Forever. But yeah. If we didn't understand the words, we would think this is a love song, yeah. It doesn't sound like this, like, unga bunga, ancient beasts. It sounds like, oh, me and the wife are gonna go, like, not swing dance, we're gonna go tango down on the club floor, you know, have an old-timey vacation. Aren't the Paleos from the Caribbean region? No. I believe they're from, like, northern, like, up, the Shale Rock. I think it's in Canada. Because Canada is named after Canada. Anyway. If you don't like randomness in card games, play chess. I mean, it depends on what kind of, how much, the thing is, like, when I see someone say, every game is based on randomization, like, it's like, yeah, that's, if you don't like randomization at all, then this is not your game, because it's inherently random. It's not me, like, you know, trying to be snarky or whatever, it's just a fact. There's a lot of people who go into games sometimes, especially after seeing the anime, and they have a misunderstanding of, like, what a card game is. Snake Eyes and Barone can't target the Paleos. They can target them, but all the Paleos are unaffected by monster effects. But if they had something more specific to say, like, I hate that I have to open a hand trap in order to win, or I hate that the opening hand determines everything, I wish the game would slow down a little bit more, like, that I understand. But the way they phrased it made it seem like, man, I wish Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, like, all skill. Like, it won't be. Okay, there we go. But yeah, there are games that are, like, less gambling, and there are games that are more gambling. And this game in general kind of goes from one to one. Luck is a skill. I mean, that's the idea behind deck building as a skill, right? Is that if you deck build correctly, you can reduce what was it? You can reduce the impact of luck on your opening hands. If you have a small, concise deck with all, like, the best cards at the highest levels, like if you're playing 3 of everything, you've got 40 cards, you increase your chance to draw a good hand. There are things that you can do to reduce the element of luck. And some people don't, like, understand that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is basically a gacha game. No, I don't think it's that bad. Is that you play your deck in a certain way all the time. If that's not possible through the hand you got, you can't win. That's random. Yeah. And there's an element of, like, you know, that's part of what makes, like, Snake Eyes the best deck, right? Is that they have, like, 8 cards that are 1-card starters. If you draw any of those 8 cards, then you can do your linear game plan. So they're less likely to draw a hand where they can't play the game the way they want to. And because the rest of their deck is filled in with trap cards that can stop the opponent from doing their linear game plan, then, like, the few times where they don't draw their starters, it's usually because they've drawn so many tools to stop the opponent, and therefore the opponent isn't going to be able to get off to the races. You can buy yourself a turn or 2 to hopefully draw into one of your starters. And the thing is, the older the deck you play, the more cards you need to get going. That was what we figured out when we were playing, like, Odd Eyes, right? Is that, like, you kind of need at least a 2-card combo. Oftentimes you need at least 3, maybe 4 cards to do anything specific, to do the same thing that you want to do normally. And there's a lot of decks that, like, the only way they can get going, like, they might have one card starter, and if you don't draw it, or it gets negated, then you're screwed. Or they might have to draw a specific, like, 2-card combo or 3-card combo, and if they don't get it, they're screwed. And there are certainly ways you can build to make that better, to reduce the chance of getting screwed, by playing stuff like Called by the Grave or Gamma that can stop your opponent's hand traps from interrupting you, by playing draw spells to make it more certain that you'll get to your starters. But the unfortunate truth is that, like, all decks aren't created equal. In like, the slightest. And there's a lot of people, especially returning players, like, you'll get people who are like, oh, I played Artifact Trap Tricks back in Ixie format. That was a really fun deck. Can I play it now? Like, you can, but it's woefully outdated. People will stop you from doing your game plan. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is basically poker 1v1. Again, I think there's a little bit more to that. The lack of interaction is what makes the game bad, yeah. And the thing is, it's, and it's the thing I always struggle to, like, tell people, because, again, a lot of people get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they want to play their pet decks. And it would be nice if there was, like, a less competitive format, or a format that, like, banned a lot of the more competitive cards, so that you could play, like, decks that don't normally see play. But I will say, it's like, you know, if you're playing a Snake Eye Mirror, or you're playing a, like, Yubel versus Yubel, or even just, like, you know, Snake Eye versus Yubel, you're playing 2 decks that have, like, equal amounts of starters and hand traps, the game becomes very interactive again. And a lot of people saw that in the Snake Eye ladder climb, you know. Yeah, there were some times when, like, oh, my opponent drew all their starters and I didn't draw enough things to stop them. Oh, you know, I drew the nuts and they didn't have anything. But there's a lot of duels where it's like you're making very strategic decisions about, like, okay, how do I use my tools to best interrupt them? Is it better to try to, like, put a bunch of stuff on the board now but limit the follow-up, or do I save the follow-up for next turn? Yu-Gi-Oh! Feels like you're constantly interacting with your opponent. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! You interact by telling your opponent they can't play. I mean, that's the thing, is, like, hand traps can feel uninteractive when you don't have a whole bunch of like, if you're playing an older deck that needs a whole bunch of engine pieces and you can't afford to have a bunch of hand traps, then like getting hand trapped just feels like, oh, I can't play, and I can't do anything to stop them from playing. But if you're playing one of those decks where like, okay, half my hand is hand traps and half my hand is one card play starters, then it's like, okay, I've got 3 things that can start my play. I'm going to assume that my opponent is going to have something to stop it. So which one do I need the least? Which one am I the most okay with it being interrupted? If like, oh, they might have max C, so that means I should use the Diabell Star first, because that doesn't start a chain. But then I have to discard a card. What card am I going to discard? Because that'll give away information about what else is in my hand and also limit my opportunities. Do I get rid of a hand trap now? And then you summon it, if they do stop it, then it's like, okay, well then I do my follow-up, and then I do the follow-up from there. It really gets into this mind game of knowing, like, which starter to use and when, knowing when to hold your hand traps. And that was the biggest thing, was like, when I was playing Snake Eyes in Diamond, as soon as I would summon, like, anything, they would just ash it. And I'd be like, well, then, now I play my second starter and you've already used ash, so I win. Unless you also have Imperm. It isn't until you get, like, better at the deck and you know all the choke points that you're like, you know what, I'll let you activate the Snash, I'll let you get Poplar, you can even search a card, I'm giving them a little bit of card advantage, and then when they go for the Snake Eye Ash effect to summon from the deck, that's when you hit them with Ash. Because oftentimes, they assume that if you don't Ash them up to that point, that they're free to go off, and they don't come up with a backup plan, they use their other elements. And that's one of those hard effects that, like, well, unless you thought ahead to, like, search the Oak, or you already opened with the Oak, or you have, like, an OSS that you haven't used yet, like, now you're on the back burner. The best you can hope to make is, like, an IP or an SP or something. I hate floodgates. By the way, there's a 9 negate end board. The thing about floodgates, right, is that, like, someone flips up skill drain, there's not very much I could do to have stopped that or prepared for it. I could play out of my mind and, like, negate, destroy their entire board, and that one card shuts down everything that I want to do. As opposed to, like, if someone built their deck and opened, like, a good hand, and they can play through all my disruption or whatever and build 9 negates, like, yes, that sucks, but I had a chance to stop that. And either because of luck or because of my lack of skill, maybe a combination of the both, I failed, and now they dominate the game. Like, I'm okay with something like, what's it called? Arise Heart. Arise Heart sucks. It's like a floodgate that shuts down my deck, like, a lot of times. They just shut down the graveyard. But I don't mind Arise Heart because you have to put investment into making it, and there are ways to counter it aside from, like, spell trap removal. Whereas, like, if someone just flips Macrocosmos, it's like, well, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. I'm not playing, like, specifically back row removal. The game is better with Arise, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think Arise Heart is great. Like, if you want to ban it, like, I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'm good. I don't want to have to deal with it. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, the game is ruined because of that. Whereas I will complain and be like, the game doesn't need stuff like Summon Limit. The game doesn't need Skill Drain. I think those objectively make the game worse at this point in the game. I think you can still have floodgates in this game, but I think the only, like, fair floodgates are things like Fossil Dyna. Things like not even Dimensional Fissure. They haven't really made one yet, but I feel like in order for a floodgate to be fair, both players have to play under it. Like, if you have a deck that can play under Dimensional Fissure, and you have to activate it at the start of your turn, that feels like, okay, you're playing a deck that is maybe weaker, but can play around some element of the game that we don't play around. What annoys me is when they can be like, okay, I'm going to use the graveyard, I'm going to build my board, and then I'll activate Dimensional Fissure. Or Dimensional, is it Fissure? Yeah. Like, okay, I've built my board, I've summoned 20 times, and flip summon limit. Now you don't get the same advantage that I had. That's why in the old days, I thought skill drain was fairly fair, because it was like, if you wanted to play a skill drain deck, you had to build around it. You built specifically, like, a deck full of cards that took advantage of skill drain. And now oftentimes it's just like, I built my board using monster effects, flip skill drain, now you don't have access to monster effects. So ban Dark Law is what you're saying. Yes. That's why Droll, yeah, Droll is pretty neat. Some people hate it. I'm still go back and forth on like lingering effects. I can get the if people want Droll banned, I understand it, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me as much on Master Duel especially, because it's like, basically if you choose to play Droll, you're giving up the fact that you could play Max C. Like if you draw Max C and Droll, you cannot activate both. They'll cancel each other out. You're talking about cards like lose one turn, since you can't flip that up if you have special summoned monsters. Yeah, I think lose one turn is more fair. I think Shifter is more fair. Like, it sucks to get Shiftered, but I'm like, if you want to build a Shifter deck, go right ahead. I especially I love when like a deck like Sprite uses Shifter, right? Because it's like, they would prefer to have cards in the graveyard, but they don't mean it, or they don't need it. So when they play Shifter, they're basically saying, this hurts me, but it hurts you more. And I'm willing to take the chance that you can't even play through this, whereas I can survive a turn or two. It feels like they had to make a concession, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, like, I played Goaty, and like, you can play Shifter in Goaty. You don't like to. You would prefer not to, even though you like getting your stuff banished. You like banishing them with your effects. If you end your turn with like no fish in the graveyard, you actually turn off a lot of the plays you want to make. You make your board weaker. But you sometimes it's worth it if the meta is a graveyard meta. Anyway, this is the same person. This is 3 weeks ago. This was a month ago, so I'm curious if this is the same list exactly. Okay, we got enough of this. I get it, we got it. How could such a varied deck be solved? Only time will tell. Okay, we've got so many options. Let's go ahead. Paelozoic 2. Do I even play? Yeah, we're still playing this. Do we play one Hyperion or just one Dragon? Yeah. And then Fairy Tale Snow. Yeah, we'll put that in there. We'll take out these. I know the Dragon. We're going to put in this. I think I'm going to try this and try to keep it really small. And then we've still got those. We've still got that. Of course, we play the 3 Canadia, the 3 Dinomicius, 3 Leoncolia, 3 Morella, 3 Oleanades. I think I'm going to go ahead and just try the, what's it called? Balance of Judgment. I'm going to try the 2 Balance and the 2, what was the other one? Hope for Escape. We'll try the 2 and 2. That's what a lot of people seem to be doing. Accumulated Fortune can wait. Okay, what does Magical Hats actually do? During your opponent's battle phase, choose 2 spell traps and 1 monster. Special summon them as normal monsters, face down. Yeah, so essentially it just sends 2 traps to the grave. It also does flip a Paleo face down. And the thing about the Paleos, if you don't know, it's, once per chain, when a trap card is activated, special summon this as a normal monster. If summoned this way, it is unaffected by monster effects, but banish it when it leaves the field. So if you summon this off of a trap and they destroy it by battle, it's banished. And you don't really want it banished, you want it back in the graveyard. But if you flip it back, if you flip it face down, like with Daruma Karma Cannon, then it doesn't remember that it was summoned by that effect, and when they destroy it, it'll go to the graveyard. So I assume it's the same thing for magical hats. It's if you have one, you can save it while getting 2 other into the graveyard. What happens if you rise a Paleo and then magical hats it? Fuck, I don't know. Fuck it. How often am I going to play magical fucking hats? Let's try 2 magical hats, and you know what? Let's play 2 Storming Mirror Force. I don't think I want to gamble. Let's not go gambling. We do want the Daruma Karma Cannon. Yeah, I don't think we want that. We'll put this in there. Oh, dang it. DDG? What's DDG? Oh, different dimension ground. Okay. Tears of the Overroot is more consistent. I mostly go with 2. Yeah. The thing about it, you can play a lot of stuff at 2 because you have Trap Trick. And then you can play stuff at 1 that you never want to draw, like these 2. Okay, so Fiend Griefing we want, I think 1. Do we want 1 evenly matched? You know what? I think we'll save the evenly matched and see what we can do with it. What do we get rid of here? I feel like I'll remember this is an option. So we'll save the evenly for now. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2. And then I guess we just play another Ice Dragon. Was that the one I was making room for? Hope for Escape. We're already playing 2 of those. Yeah, and then we've got this. Okay, so the question is there anyone who has Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega who would like to help me test? Evenly matched on 1. We'll see. We can always add it in. There are other options. Rollback with evenly is funny because they banished to 0. Lost Wind. See, we're basically trading out Lost Wind for Storming Mirror Force and Magical Hats. I do, but I kind of hate Omega. Yeah, but I want to test here before I spend all the time building everything. Also, give me a second. Let's go ahead. Also, welcome back, people from YouTube. You missed an hour and a half of stream. We spent a lot of time. Let me get my digital free music. Please pause. Please pause. What are you doing? There we go. Jeez. For some reason it was wow, this is taking up too much memory. Okay. Yeah, okay. So if you're we always want to give the patrons the first shot. So if you're a patron and you would like to duel, send me a message on the Discord. What did I name that? It was like Paleo Beta, right? Paleo Beta 2. Star that. Let's add... Where's the Sky Striker bot? Because it has hand traps and stuff. Okay. Can you roll back Waking the Dragon? I don't think so, because the activation requirements have to be the same. Getting destroyed is not a cost. Okay, so Blind Reasoning. They pick 8. We summon Maxi. And we mill Oilian 80s. Not great. Okay, we're pretty set. They pick these two. Okay, so we chain the Needlebug's Nest. We summon the rise, or we summon this. Do we rise to full height now? There's no rush, right? Can make a second attack. If it destroys a monster, draw a card. Oof. Okay, they're just sending it off. Draw a card. Unfortunate. Okay, we're going to activate... What does this affect? This card... If this card battled... Okay, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're just losing this anyway. Oh, we're not. They're attacking directly. Okay, and then we can Leoncolia, flip that face down. Now they're stuck with a card on their field that they can't activate. And then we go ahead and rise the full height, increase the defense, chain Canadia, summon. Oh, and I get my Max C back. Yay. Okay, flip summon. We're going to make Opabinia, right? Yeah. They've stolen it, the bastards! And then we can Typhon on the Maxi. No, we don't need to do this battle. Main 2. Oh yeah, we can't summon anymore. Do we just force it out? I mean, they're gonna do it anyway. Oh, they did in main phase 2. Okay. Is this only during main phase? No, it's just quick effect. It's not a good matchup. No, it is not. They are stealing Typhon. Sure. Oh no, they're negating Typhon. They cannot steal it. They could have stolen it. I don't know why they didn't steal it. Okay. I think I need to use this now, because otherwise I won't have a chance. So let's put the Ray back into the deck. Yeah. Summon this. Send a Fiend. Yes, Backjack. Backjack effect. We look at the top 3 cards, rearrange them. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then we can banish the Backjack. Put Morella here. What else is in the graveyard? Okay. Yeah, we activate the Morella. We send transaction rollback. Okay. Hawk! It's been so long! Summon, sorceress! It's been so long! Battle phase. Attack. Activate transaction rollback. Target storming mirror force. Bye-bye! Judge! Oh god! Activate rise to full height. You can only target Typhon. Oh, they're going for it. I heard we were rollbacking. Oh, we rolled back so hard. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, activate this. Yeah, I was gonna steal it. That grass. Look at the top 3. Arrange them in any order. Let's go Trap Trick you. I've got another rollback in the grave. What can I possibly use? Oh, Balance of Judgment. So I have 1 card. They have 4. So use rollback. Target, balance, draw 3. Hey. Level 10. Oh wait, do I have any monsters left? I should not have activated this. Oh, okay. Fairy Tale Snow. No. What do I have? Have I already used all my Leoncolias? 2 of them are in the grave. Yeah, this is where I could see this being a problem. Okay, all 3 of these are in the grave. Ice Dragon's prison is not. Let's just set these 2. So many options! Oh, I could just do the thing. Alright. Yeah, we'll just let him cook, chat. Yeah, you're fine. Start step of the battle phase. Yeah, I guess we just do this. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I think we just elemental burst, right? Or no, we destructive Daruma. Yeah, I guess we just elemental burst. Fairy Tale Snow. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, they may have been able to outdo me. 538 life points. A good year. Okay, they ashed it. Boo, boo, boo. Okay, what do? We make... we might need more links in this. Maybe add the 1 link spider, yeah. Let's go ahead and use this. Summon you. No. Battle phase. Go ahead and activate Rise to full height. Target the Max C. They have to attack the Max C. They can attack nothing else. Main phase, activate Elf, bring back the Max C. Veiler. Okay. Yeah, now we're just in that grind game. And unfortunately, all we got is like the Canadias that don't do a whole lot. What is this effect? Cannot be used as link material the turn it's summoned. Okay, 1 second. But I can make a gigantic sprite now. Which has 1900. Battle. Attack over this. Main phase 2. Let's go Downard. Let's go Zeus. Let's see. It is unaffected by monster effects. Hold up, so I can flip this. They'll tag out. Oh yeah, if they chain it, then I can't do anything. Okay. Yeah, this is the biggest flaw, is that I can't activate this to get any of my Paleos online. Alright, that works. Yeah, let's just activate this. And then we'll activate the snow. Oh, that's on the field. Summon snow. Flip it face down. They don't have it. They're out. We're in this for the long game, ladies and non-ladies. 3 cards left in deck. Yeah, we're not in a great position. But they're out of Sky Striker aces. They don't have any more to summon. Now let's activate this. Let's steal the Jet Synchron. Let's activate this. Summon it. Battle phase, activate Rise to full height. You must attack Zeus. Sure. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Leoncolia, activate. Put the transaction rollback back into the graveyard. Activate. Summon this. End phase. Activate Zeus to wipe the last card. The Paleos are unaffected by monster effects. And there we go, you know. It took everything. We have literally one card left, but we did it. We're in for the long game, baby. I have won the grind game. Cheese and crackers. Okay. So let's see. Someone... Elaborate would like to help me test. Okay. I will host. Let's get the room code. There you go, Elaborate. Come on in here. Elab is me. I can tell. It's worse against the new meta, is it? I feel like it should have a better chance against the, whatchamacallits. The U-Bells. I don't have many decks. I guess we'll see. If not, we can get other people in here, but I always want to give patrons a chance first. Set 4 pass, baby! I see, I see. Let's go ahead, Needlebug. What did I hit? Leoncolia, Oleonades. These are like all the worst ones. But we did hit Backjack, so let's do that. Look at the top 3. And then we can set. Yeah, we'll do this, this, this. Let's go ahead and activate. Set Waboku. Yeah, that's fine. I just gotta be patient. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Fuck. Yeah. What did he do? Or what did he target? Absolute backjack, transaction rollback. Okay. So, yeah, we have to use this now or we won't get a chance. So, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. Transaction rollback. Do we just needlebug nest? Sure. Five more. What do you know? Another transaction rollback. You already summoned Kebasenuf this turn. All right. Already summoned I'm Seti. There should be a fourth one. Okay. So we're going to grief some fiends. Put this back into your deck. Activate this. Send, yes. Look at the top three. Okay. Okay, we're going to get Opabinya. Activate. We're going to get another Morella? Yeah. Gonna get Morella. We're going to activate the Morella from our hand. That allows us to activate a Morella in the graveyard. That's going to allow us to send Elemental Burst. Activate Transaction Rollback. Target the Burst. Get rid of everything except for that. Sure. Crime! What do we have in the grave? Not much. Okay. I think we need to wait. I'm still learning and it hurts my brain. Is Chaos Draft discontinued? Yes, for now. Now, how's the music, by the way? Not too loud, I hope. I think that must have been a misclick. Usually supposed to activate Havness when you send it. Okay. Let's grief some fiends. Let's take this out. Ooh, tempting, tempting, tempting. I think at this point we do this, and then it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and activate this. Set the trap trick. Set the trap trick. Activate this. Yeah. A good whiskey vibe. Yeah, let's go ahead. Summon this, set everything face down. Everyone go to sleep! Happy still awakens. My most of me! Do they get to redeclare on that? No. Okay. Flip. 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 Activate. Detach. Let's get... Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't even need to do that. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. So let's... Oleanades. Let's pop this. And we'll trigger one of these at the graveyard. Get 2 cards back. Leanne Colia. Target 1 ban. Oh, whoops. For some reason, I thought I had a transaction rollback. I was getting all ready to transact and shit. Oh, Okay, Anomacalaris time. Let's detach that. Let's blow you up. Okay. Tier Cache activated. Mill 2. Heartbeat activated. Get a card back. Gotcha. Rise to full height. Battle phase. Hello there. It's me, your good friend Zeus. It's weird hearing you in the past. You're welcome. Yeah, what does the link do again? Oh, yeah. Kaleido target whom? Yeah, might as well. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, I think we do this. Zeus summon is once per turn. I was gonna summon the whatchamacallit. I was gonna summon Typhon. Okay, so we activate Rise to full height. targeting you. That allows us to chain one of our Paleos. Summon. Double the defense. Then we activate SP. We target her and Rhino Heart, and then we chain Rise to full height, targeting SP. So now you can only attack SP, who ain't here no more. Ah, Dahark. What did they target? Oh, well, I'll banish that. No, Maxi! I can see now why people don't play Maxi in this deck. My other back, Jack! Yo, what up? Let's see. Yeah. Big battle. Attack over Spa. Main phase 2. Set a card. Make Zeus. Oh yeah, they don't have one in hand. Yeah, I think we do this now. Pay half my life points, target Hope for Escape, draw 3. Just 2. Those are a good 2, though. This is a long-ass duel. That's the only downside about this. Although, to be fair, if we're playing this in, like, Diamond or whatever, people gonna be, surrendering. Ah, I see. Oh, they're thinking. It is fun, though, yeah. People talking, you know, you're talking about, I wish Yu-Gi-Oh! Was more back and forth. With Paleo, there's a lot of back and forth, baby. This is the back and forth. Oh, okay. Compulse. Time for reason! Pick a number. Choose wisely. $12. Okay. No mills for me. $18.50. 3,000. Do I dare, chat? Okay. Activate Dinomicious. Target this. Chain Morella. Summon Morella. Oh, I got to discard. Attack with Morella. Activate rollback. Target Trap Trick. Trap Trick set Needlebug's Nest. Activate Needlebug. Chain Leoncolia. Attack for game. Imperm! Did you activate a trap? Clap, 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 yeah. You get there eventually, baby! It's got that Dinomorphia thing of like, the entire time your opponent is like, they're at 1,000 life points. All I gotta do is get in for one hit. I'm so close to winning. Granted, I mean, I can't read minds or whatever, but it has that feeling where, like, if you're just looking at the score, or even if you're just looking at, like, the cards on field, it always seems like your opponent is doing so much better, but never in that entire duel was I like, oh no. I was always like, oh yeah, I still got control. I still got so many things I can do. Death by 1,000 bites and stings. Alright, thank you very much, sir. If there's anyone else who would like to go in, we can give this another try. Get at least one more. It's like, we got 40 minutes left in stream. That should be long enough for one duel. Then I summon Ruddy Rose Dragon. Yeah, that would ruin me. Ruddy Rose would ruin me. Getting hit by something like Dimension Shifter actually sucks for this deck. Oh, but actually, before we go, Control, what are we on tonight? Paelozoic, baby. Paelozoic, 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 Paelozoic. I got to Paleo. Zoic, Zoic, Paleo. Zoic, Zoic, Paelozoic, Goompa-doompa-doom, Paelozoic, Goompa-doompa-doom. Okay, so we're getting rid of Maxi. I think I'm gonna put in the Hyperia. I think that's funny. One Hyperia, one Dragon Maid. And that gives us room for one more 2-of. Is it gonna be harder to get to Master 1? Have you read Soldier Dragons? I have. I don't think it's as good in Master Duel because of Maxi. It's the Cambrian explosion. Yeah, also, as funny as Magical Hats is, the thing is it competes with Storming Mirror Force. And because Josh has already used Magical Hats, I think I'm going to cut that out. And I think I'm going to play, we'll try Evenly. Although Evenly kind of conflicts, now that I think about it. Tantalizing is good. The problem with Tantalizing is that it's such hard ash bait. Yeah, I think we're gonna put 3 evenly. It'll be better if we go second, we're already in bad shape, but do we try the Ghost Meets Girl? Just stop them from special summoning. Exactly, it's bait. Yeah, the problem I'm kind of running into is we have so much removal that it conflicts almost with Balance of Judgment. I wouldn't play GMG. Oh, Ghost Meets Girl. I was like, which was GMG again? You know what? We could play one of Titanocyder. Because this is... What was it? This is essentially like Lost Wind. Where, like, if your opponent summons a monster out of the extra deck while this is in the graveyard, you can set this card. Target a monster that was summoned out of the extra deck, change its attack to 0, and if you do, negate its effects. That Appaloosa, not looking so good. Lost Wind is better. Yeah, Lost Wind is better if I'm putting in a 3-of. I'm playing the Titanocyder because it never goes away. It never gets banished. So I will always, like, it'll just keep coming back if they keep summoning. So, like, if I have to choose something that I can only play one of, this is something that, like, I can put one of, and as soon as it gets into the graveyard, it just has infinite recursion. Granted, some decks aren't, it's not going to be very useful, but... Yeah, I looked at Vivid Tail. Oh, no one came in. No one else wants to try? Should I just try against the bot again? Adamancipator. Let's go second this time. Too scared of Paleos. They fear what they don't understand. Also, this hand is this hand is awful. You don't want to start with transaction rollback. It's not common for people to use Omega. True. Yeah, because I can only activate it on the field if my opponent has a trap I can copy. Granted, I've still got... Okay, this is chainable. This... Yeah, I think we just... Yeah. Yeah, I think we do this. Oh, okay. Can't do more stuff, I see. Is there something I just want to get out of the deck? No, I don't think so. Yeah, you're still negated. The computer does not know what to do! Okay, this gets us started. Hello. Fuck you, buddy! That's still fine. Okay, now I can Morella. Under my Rella. Let's send this so we don't draw it. Then we rise to full height. We'll double our defense. That allows us to get the Morella. Put it here. Now we can make Opabinya in defense. Activate. Detach this. Grab Dynamicious. Then we activate the Dynamicious. Targeting this. Detaching that. Yeah, we're good for now. Why can I activate this? Oh, it's any banished card. That is neat. Alright. They just don't know what to do. What the hell is their hand? Do they just not understand what to do with this broken? I guess we'll help them out. Transaction rollback. Target elemental burst. Wipe the field. Then we'll, okay, yeah. We'll activate Leoncolia. Put the transaction back. Summon the Dynamicious. Then we'll activate this. Search another Morella. Yeah. What is the actual thing from this? Okay, so the detach, but I can still use Morella from my hand. So I can, like, Morella here, activate the Leoncolia, summon, what do we want to send to the graveyard? I guess a... Oh, Hope for Escape. Yeah, in case we want to draw cards. I mean, we've already got quite a few cards. We just make Gigantic Sprite. Activate. Will detach. Summon Hyperia. Hyperia draws a card. Oh, and then we can make... Oh, I have to use that. Okay. Oh, because it's in the extra... I should have made it in the extra monster zone. I don't know why I'm thinking so hard. Yeah, I think we just saved that with everything we got. Yeah, just attack. Main phase 2. I can't summon high-level monsters this turn. Gotta remember that. Neither player can summon... I thought it was except for a level 2 or higher. But it's level, rank, or link. So I can't do all 3. Okay. If that's the case, I just make this. Sure, I'll banish from your graveyard. And then we can just, like, set. Paleo frogs? We don't even need... The frogs would only slow us down. Okay, unfortunately, this AI is broken. I'm spending all this time calculating plays. It's not even doing anything. I guess the big question is, like, assuming they don't do anything, what's the fastest I can get game here? What's my biggest beater? It's like Zealantis, right? Level 2. What was it? Someone told me... I guess I should learn how this works. So I can make this with any 2. There has to be spells in the graveyard, though, right? How does this work? Once per turn, you could target 2 spell traps in the graveyard, attach it to this card. This is a quick effect. Okay. So I can just be like... I don't know... You and you? And then go to battle phase. Granted, I have to have something I can attack into. But then I make, like, the biggest Zeus. We go into Downard. And then you got the 6-mat Zeus. It's just silly. The deck is too smart for an AI. Yeah, I thought Adamancipator was like a dumb deck. They have Block Dragon and everything. Okay, so 3, we have exact game. Oh yeah, set rollback when Zeus is on the field. We did that earlier when we were actually playing someone. I can face you again. I don't know. It's... You know what? I think we're good. I think we got an idea of how it works. Maybe I could try once more against Chaos Max Dragon Turbo. We'll do one more. This should hopefully be quick. This is a very simple deck. And then we'll just look at, like, changing stuff, and then I'll get started. We can, like, we can build it on, get it ready on Master Duel, and we'll actually pull the packs next time. Oh, great. We started with Elemental Burst. Okay. The King! The King! The King! Yeah, we go you, and you. Okay. And then we set, and we set. 300 attack. Haha! Ah, scapegoats. Let's go ahead and use this now. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Link Karibo. Link Karibo. Boral Sword! How about no? Get out of here. Yeah, end phase. We'll use Olean 80s. Pop this. They activated a trap, so we'll chain Dinomicious. And we didn't want a Needle Bug because we knew we were getting the reasoning. What number does the bot pick? 12. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! Mill 3 more? Sure, don't mind if I do. No transaction rollback, but I mean, we could solve that problem right now. Oh, Babinya! Let's get Morella. Then we can activate Morella from hand. Chain Canadia. Send a transaction rollback. If we need it. I don't think we really need it at the moment. Although, let's see. What do we want to do? No, they don't even have anything. So we get, like, nothing off of... Oh! Well, okay. Let's go ahead and Needlebug Nest. Summon another Canadia. Gang's all here, chat. Let's go ahead. Rise to full height. Get Oleanoides. Yeah, transaction rollback. Let's target the trap trick in the graveyard. Let's... Oh, do we just set a Wabaku? Let's just set a Daruma. Heavy Storm live this season, yeah. Oh yeah, and that's now that our life points are lower. Hope for escape. Oh boy, don't mind if I do. This is 12, 24, 48. Oh yeah, they did summon 2 cards last time. Is that the best way to get damage? Or do we... 2 monsters, including a level 2 Link 2. Yeah, I think we do this. Yeah. And then we... You! No, we don't need to use this. Is this game? There's no way this is game, right? No. For some reason I thought I had a, I do have a trap trick in the grave. How come I couldn't transaction roll? Oh, I did, but I set... Okay, yeah. If I'd set, like, Wabaku or something, I could have gotten game. Gotcha. Then we'll make... Adamancipator. Then we'll detach the Dragon Maid. Draw a card. Yay. Sure. I was like, oh, if I activate this, I won't be able to make an Adamancipator, but I totally could. Nothing? Okay. I mean, at least this did something. It made Boral Sword. It just lost to everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and get a second. There it goes. There's an update. What did they add, chat? No one told me there was going to be an update. What in the Sam Hill? Tryout duel. Respect play. Everyone can look at their own hand. Mind Crush goes crazy. New gates added to the solo mode. The sealed deities of the fabled realm. Someone contact Doug. The selection pack with Heavy Storm is here. The following have been added to secret packs. Okay. Ixie Cup Survey. New accessory. Upcoming limited and forbidden list. They banned the 2 cards that are used for Puppet Lock. Trishula Infernity Launcher, Zeus, Sekka's Light, and Super Heavy Samurai Wagon all coming to 3. Now you want 3 Zeus. They added Magius. What's Magius? Oh, the new thing? The new Blue Eyes guy? Yeah, he's in the new Master Saga. Also, Wing Kariba level 6. And Ace Spades Speculation. 1 monster with 2,500 or more attack. 1 face-down defense position monster. Weird super poly target. You contribute 1 attack position monster and 1 defense position monster. Special summon this from your graveyard. Is that from either player's field? To the new Blue Eyes monster? Okay. They can lock with some other things. Maybe Ra's Disciple. The thing about Ra's Disciple compared to a lot of these other ones is that Ra's Disciple only locks you while it's face up on the field. So if you crash it or get rid of it or whatever, then it's fine. The problem with the Puppet Lock is, like, even if you had some way to get rid of it, you can't. Or you're still locked. It's not an instant win button. The thing about the fabled, or not the fabled, the Puppet Lock, was that in all my time grinding the Master Duel ladder, I only got Puppet Locked twice, and one of those games I won. What else is in here? Utopian Dragonar, Dragon Spirit of White, fucking Kluger, Snatch Steel. Oh, Toy Box got added. Super Poly. Fully armored Utopic Ray Lancer. Oh, so all the Toy Box stuff got added. That's a nice art. I don't say that often. But damn, look at that majesty. What does this do? During your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your hand, target 1 Dragon Synchro in your graveyard, special summon this card, and if you do, special summon that monster, but it's negated its effects, then immediately Synchro summon a Dragon Synchro using those 2 cards you control. So what, if you got like a Blue Eyes, you'd need like a 12? I haven't looked at this Toy Box stuff. Electrode Beast Cation. Oh, Watt support. And it's a level 2. This is normal summoned. Add 1 Electron Beast Anian. Then immediately normal summon 1 level 4 Lower Thunder. Also, you can add special summon from the extra deck except for Light Ixies. Target 1 other Thunder monster you control that has a level. This card's level becomes that monster's level. Huh. E. If this card is normal summoned, you can make this card level 4. Then you can add Spirit Converter. Huh. Mirror Match. This card is in your hand. You can reveal 3 cards with different names from your hand and or deck that match the names of 3 different cards in your opponent's graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send this card, summoned by the previous effect, to the graveyard. Send 1 card with the same name as that opponent's card from your deck to the graveyard. If you do, negate the activation. I see! So they printed, cross out Designator at home. It's so bad. It's funny. So if you're going second, and your opponent has 3 cards in their graveyard that you have in your hand or deck, then you can just summon this. And then if they activate a card effect, you can send the 1 card with the same name from your deck or extra deck, negate the activation. Should be a rare at best. Oil. Target 2 fires with different names in your graveyard, add them to your hand. Oh, they know. Look at them. If a synchro is on the field, draw a card. If 3 synchros are on the field, draw 2 cards. Spell card, Soul Exchange. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute 1 monster, and you can tribute monsters your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. Wait. Tribute 1 monster, but it cannot be tributed this turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, your opponent can apply the preceding effect. You can only wait, what? What the fuck kind of text is... Okay. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 monster, but it cannot be tributed this turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, your opponent can apply the preceding effect. Tribute 1 monster, but it cannot... I don't understand. What the fuck is this? Tribute a monster, but it cannot be tributed this turn. What does that mean? Can I tribute it or can't I? I am very confused. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so you tribute summon... Wait. Tribute summon 1 monster. Oh, but I can't tribute the monster I just summoned can't be used as a... Okay, there we go. I thought it was you can tribute using that monster, but no, it's saying you can tribute summon using your opponent's cards, but that monster you tribute summon can't be tributed. So it's basically whatchamacallit. It's basically saying you can't use this for Monarch stuff. But then your opponent can immediately do it too, because this card, it's a spell, so it'll be activated and go to the graveyard. Oh, okay, so then if they have a card in their hand, they can tribute summon it, but they can't tribute the monster that you just summoned, but they can tribute your other monsters to tribute summon. Very weird anime card. This guy's seen some stuff, and some things. He wouldn't recommend either of them. When a monster declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster, target 1 monster on either field except the attacking monster, change the attack target to it. That is funny. Life Shaver. During your opponent's end phase, place 1 counter on this card. During the main or battle phase, if this is a counter, you can send this card to the graveyard. Make your opponent discard as many cards up to the number of counters. Ugh. Magical Trick Mirror. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target a spell in your opponent's graveyard, set it to your field. You can banish this card from your graveyard, send Monster Reborn from your hand or face down field to the graveyard, special summon Obelisk the Tormentor from your graveyard, and if you activated this effect during your opponent's turn, all monsters your opponent controls must attack that. This is the most anime card to ever exist. Wonky Quartet. Look at them, chat. They made Toon support. 2+ level 4s, generic level 4 support. Unaffected by other cards' effects. If this card is Ixie summoned, also, once per turn during your standby phase, attach the top 3 cards of your deck to this card as material. Then apply the following effect based on the number of monsters. 4 or less, give control of this card to your opponent. 5 or more, take 400 damage for each material this card has, and if you do, destroy all monsters you control. It's Crooked Cook at home. Kinda. The thing is, so during your standby phase, you attach 3 from the top of your deck. Now, if this has 4, so basically you make this with 2 level 4s, and then if you don't attach any monsters, if this just has 2 or 3, then it goes to your opponent. And then if your opponent attaches monsters, they take 400 damage. So the idea is to, like, make this with 2 monsters, give it to your opponent, and then they can't attack with it because it has 0 attack. It's unaffected by monster effects, but you can use it as link material. Why wouldn't you just use Wolfgang9999? Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Can't you make a big ass Zeus with it? You'd have to attack with it first. I could have saved you a lot of time and just been like, it's dumb. Division. This is a new Math Mech card. Tribute all divisions you control. Special summon twice that many machine tokens. And each time one is destroyed, your opponent takes 500 damage. If this card is banished, you can target any number of tokens you control, destroy them. Huh. So tribute division, special summon 2 machine tokens. If you have 2 divisions, you get 4. How you're supposed to summon 6 division tokens? I don't know. You could send this from the field to the graveyard. Add a level 10 dark monster from your deck to your hand. Ah, okay. So now Ubel has another searcher. Surely that's what you'd use this for. If a face-up monster is destroyed by battle, you can gain life points equal to their combined original attack. If a monster is summoned from the graveyard, target one of them, it gains 1,000. If a spell trap is discarded from your hand, target one of them, added to your hand. Seems like it might be useful. Target 1 Ixie, banish 2 materials from it, and if you do, special summon 1 from your extra deck that is 1 link higher. Interesting. Life hack! He's like, m'lady, beam. Target a monster on the field. Any attack damage your opponent takes is halved. Also, that monster's attack becomes equal to your opponent's life points. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Target a monster on the field. Any damage your opponent takes this turn is halved. That monster's attack becomes equal to your current life points. Funny. Okay, that we can't use. Favored contact. Bunch of beast bodies. Change all monsters to defense position. For the rest of the turn, the player who controls a defense position monster cannot attack with monsters that were normally summoned this turn. Panic! Okay, I was just like, are there any traps possibly that we might be able to make use of? No, it doesn't look like it. What's a good beginner deck for new players? I've been struggling. Sword Soul. Sword Soul is pretty easy. Scareclaw is pretty easy if you want to learn links. Links are one of those things that seem really intimidating, and then you learn how to play it, and it's like, oh, okay, actually this is easy. But Sword Soul, a lot of people will, what was it? A lot of people will tell you Sword Soul is a good beginner deck. And it is, because, not just because it's fairly easy to learn, but also because if you're a new Master Duel player, they have like a thing where you can get a free Sword Soul deck. Dinomorphia. Dinomorphia is like easy to play. I wouldn't say it's a good beginner deck because it's not going to teach you much about the game because it's a very weird deck. Like, Sword Soul is like, it'll teach you how to synchro, it'll teach you some basic link plays, you'll learn about traps, you'll learn about spells, you'll learn about consistency. It's a very, like, modern-ish deck. And especially, like, if you're on the lower tiers, like, Sword Soul can get you up into, like, probably Diamond still. It's not in the structures. There's like a, is it in the gift box? Rookie and Returner Mutual Following Campaign. It's under Friends. You need to get friend codes. You can write down mine real quick if you want. There's a lot of places you can find them. I'm pretty sure, like, if you check Reddit, there's still people, like, showing them. Yeah, you just gotta look up the campaign codes. I have it. I was like, we're gonna end, and then I started reading cards. As far as structure decks, chat, if you can't get that and you just want to buy, like, a structure deck, what's the best one? It's probably, like, Galaxy Eyes or Blue Eyes, right? Like, neither of these is, like, as good as Sword Soul. But, like, Jet Dragon Turbo will get you through gold, like, easily. You can make a solid, like, deck out of the Blue Eyes. You could even make, like... The thing about this that I like is because it's so diverse, like, you could make a Synchro deck with it, you could make a Fusion deck with it, you could make a Rank 8 Ixie deck with it, you could work on the main deck and just make Jet Dragon Turbo, you could make Chaos Max Dragon Turbo, like... Blue Eyes will teach you every summoning ability. It won't be very good, but if you're learning, you can still at least get some combos and stuff down. I guess there's a Dark Magician one too, right? Yeah, Dark Magician's not awful. It's like a trap-based deck, and you'll want to look up, like, deck profiles, because most of the cards in here you don't want to play, but you can make a good deck out of this. Ninja, I wouldn't call for beginners. And then Galaxy Eyes. I still haven't looked at the new Galaxy Eyes stuff, but if nothing else, this is a deck where, like, you can go second, you can make, like, a monster that has 10,000 attack and attacks 3 times and just kill your opponent in half. There are go first combos. The problem with Galaxy Eyes is, like if you want to learn Sword Soul used to be a meta deck. So you can find deck profiles from, like, professional players all the way down to casual players. But the pros will be like, here is the best list, here is what you want to play and why. And they'll explain it to you. There's so many people who have made deck profiles, you'll be able to find one. Galaxy Eyes has a lot of, like, fanboys who are really into the deck, who maybe aren't the best guides or not the best players. They're just really enthusiastic about it. Same thing with Blue Eyes. Because Blue Eyes and Galaxy Eyes never topped, you're not going to find, like, a really good player telling you the ins and outs of it. You might not get the best information. But anyway, let's build this real quick. Or we're not going to craft everything, but, like, okay, we learned... We're not going to play this. We're going to get Hyper. 1 Hyperia, 1 Snow, 1 Laundry Dragon. I'm cutting this out for now. We are playing that. I'm playing 3 Waboku, 1 Elemental Burst, 3 Needlebug, 3 Griefing, 2 of those. We're going to play the 2 hope for escape. Got all those. 3/3. Not playing this anymore. We do have the 1 Witch's Strike, and we're going to do evenly. That's good for our first one. DM isn't good, to be honest. Just it's not great, but it does, like, Dark Magician will teach you, like, the importance of searching. It'll teach you how, like, spell traps and everything works. It'll teach you about, like, quick play fusions, setting up a lock. It's not, again, DM, it's like a gold level deck. But you gotta remember, if people are like, I'm new to the game, they're starting in, like, silver. Or they're starting in bronze. If you're in bronze, Dark Magician can absolutely do some stuff. Okay, as for the extra deck, playing 2 and 2, I'm still not sure. I remember Josh saying, like, you know, not sure if I'd play 2 Opabinia, definitely play, he's like, maybe 3 Anomacalaris. I don't feel like I've been in a, granted I've only played a couple duels, but I'm like, I don't feel like I've been in a position to summon, like, more than 1 Anomacalaris. That's 3 monsters, that's an investment. Get that, we'll get Plump. Okay, I already have 1. We're only going to play 1 Zeus. Maybe I should put 2 in there. We're going to get Elf. Yeah, like, I almost feel like maybe it might be better to take out an Anomacalaris and play another, Soldier Dragon's very good. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to put another Zeus in here. If we find we need more ways to get into Zeus, we could always take this out. Why isn't there a VOD for this stream? Because it's not done yet. I have my VOD set up so that they... What was it? By default, my videos don't go straight to VOD. I have to set them to do it. No Sky Cavalry. No, I don't think we'll need it. Paelozoic good? Yes. Paelozoic very useful. Alright, so this is the deck. Soldier Dragon, yeah. I'm not playing Soldier Dragons because I think in a Max D format we want to avoid something like that. Josh goes into the paleo stuff constantly, so I think at least 2. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I forget, is Zeus at 1? I feel like, at least from the limited experience we had, that Zeus was more important than Anomacalaris. Like, it was more of a boss monster. And we're playing a couple different ways to get into it. So I want to try that, because it's easier to make than Anomacalaris. And arguably better. But we will see. I can always change it up. But this is the one we're starting with. And then, yeah, I think we're going to delete this deck. And then, real quick, we're going to do, like, paleo options, so I don't forget. So what stuff we had? We had like Trap Tantalizing. There was Time Tearing a Morganite. There was Dragon Soldiers. Oh, it automatically puts the shiny one in there. Josh often got carried by Morganite. Yeah, granted, again, I didn't have very much experience. It'll be interesting to see how long this takes on Master Duel. But the, whatchamacallit, the problem I had is I almost ran out of cards. Trying to open up Omega again so I can get a look at the other stuff that I forgot. I know there was other stuff. Magical hats. Lost Wind. Different Dimension Ground. Different Doug Dibadome. I think I just played 2 of those, right? 2. No, we don't play Left Arm Offering in this one. Dimensional Bar. There's the Dragon Maid Trap. Yeah, Tidying. Imperm? No, Imperm's not good enough for this deck. Fiend Comedian. Very funny. I'm already playing the Mirror Force. We'll put that. We'll put... Play the one of Big Lady. Accumulated. We'll play... Link Spider was an option. Access Code is an option. IP is an option. The Butler, good Goblin Housekeeping. Do we have Reasoning? Yeah. Yeah, these are just other options, other things to consider, maybe. I think that's everything. Yeah, these are just things that, like, we could put in if we felt like it. The actual deck... is this. And yeah, we've got Reasoning, we've got Grass, we've got Elemental Burst. Butler needs to activate from hand. We don't care about activating from hand. That's not why it's there. Okay, and with that, I think we're going to call it for tonight. We got it all ready. Thursday, when I'm stream then, we will open packs. So if you like to see gambling, we'll be opening all the packs, chat. Let's go gambling. Oh, dang it. And then we'll test out duels. If you ever wanted to duel me on Master Duel, that'll be our chance. We'll do it then. Although, I mean, what was it? So if you're unfamiliar with how I set up the duels, it's patrons get to duel first. If you're on the Patreon, you get to claim a place in line, and I will run through all the patrons. Once the patrons, once the line has run out, then I'll open it up for anyone. Anyone can come in and duel. You don't have to, claim a spot, or you can't claim a spot or anything. You just gotta be fast. I'll get in a room and be like, whoever gets here first gets it. So anyone can duel if they're fast. If you're not fast, then you gotta be a patron. You can claim a spot then. And usually that's not a problem, because usually when I do these, we get 5 or 6 patrons who want to duel. Maybe more will come in later, but once we get past those 5 or 6 duels, then it's just open to free duels. The problem, of course, with Tearlament is that the duels can last for a half hour. So it's possible we won't even get through all the patrons because the duels take too long. Get your red reboot ready. Tearlament? Did I say Tearlament? I meant Paleo. It's late, I'm sorry. But yeah, either way, we'll be on this Thursday, and then next week we'll start the ladder climb. The ladder will reset by then. You'll have it easy this time. It's definitely going to be, I think this is definitely going to be better than Odd Eyes. It's just a matter of, it's really the question with this week is not going to be can I make it to Master 1? Is this deck good enough? It's going to be, is 6 streams of 4 hours each long enough to get into Master 1 from Platinum? Because some of these duels can go long. The longest, hardest deck. My real hope is that against real people on a ladder, once it's clear that I have an upper hand, once I've wiped their board twice, they'll just surrender. Put a reading counter. I'm trying to think, what should the reading counter be? How many times someone uses a monster effect on a Paleo? A literacy effect. How often did someone try to use a monster effect on the Paleos? Okay. We'll do that. That'll be funny. For now, though, I'm going to get going. I'm Hardleg Joe, if you didn't know. Like I said, I'll be back here Thursday. So come for that. Follow or whatever. Otherwise, I think we're going to raid